Happy Dragon Age Day. This is going to be unlike a lot of my other videos. There wouldn't be much analysis, I think. I hope. I don't know. But it's going to hopefully be heartfelt. Because Dragon Age, Thedas, is a world that means the world to me. And on today, Dragon Age Day, I figured it might be a good time to talk about what Dragon Age means to me. And I would love for you to tell me in the comments as well what Dragon Age means to you. It can be one thing, it can be a lot, but I would love to hear your thoughts as today we celebrate these games and this universe that holds our heart. First thing for me, Dragon Age is about not breaking, not being unbreakable, because let's be real, nobody is actually unbreakable, as much as Iron Bull would want us to think otherwise, but instead, not breaking. Whether you've played and love being the Warden, or you prefer being Hawk, or maybe it's the Inquisitor that holds your heart. Or more recently, Rook is the one that gets you. No matter who your preferred protagonist is from the Dragon Age games, the one thing they all have in common is that they simply refuse to break. No matter the devastation Thedas tosses their way, and gods, this series of games live to attempt to break our protagonists. No matter what the origin you choose for the Warden, it's trauma upon trauma. And you as the Warden are meant to rise above it all to become the hero of Ferelden. It's the same thing with Hawk. Before you become the champion of Kirkwall, Thedas, Dragon Age, expects you to show that you will keep fighting and keep pushing forward, no matter how much pain and devastation the world throws your way. Because let's be honest, Hawk's story is a series of devastating events upon devastating events that seem like they're unending, and yet, like the Warden, you keep resisting and fighting, proving that no matter what comes your way, Hawk will never break. The Inquisitor and Rook, on the other hand, don't see as much devastation and pain in their origin stories like the Warden and Hawk do. Theirs is a life that one could assume was a tad bit easier and less traumatic than the others. But still, the responsibility that weighs on them is tailored to attempt to break them. The Inquisitor, depending on the background you choose, is at the conclave for reasons that was not expecting them to take control of an organization with the power to assassinate or install leaders, to be in conversations with them, to be seen as one with the capacity to save the entirety of the South by virtue of an anchor that they were accidentally fused with, and which has the ability to close the rips in the veil. Rook, on the other hand, is tasked with fighting to stop two previously imprisoned elven gods from blighting the entire world, all for the sake of power. The fate of the world rests on their shoulders, and in amassing the help that they can gain to prevent the end of the world. These two protagonists, Rook and the Inquisitor, bear a burden that can break them and choose to not let that happen. They fight against it, instead, doing what they can to help the world and try not to be crushed underneath the weight of that expectation. The Dragon Age protagonists all show me that showing up every day, doing the best I can, putting in the work and the effort, and slowly chugging along to getting what I need to get done is the best way to survive. To survive the waves and to not let life break me. Dragon Age also shows me that hope is possible and that it blooms in the most unlikeliest of places. The Anderfell survived blight upon blight, the type of blight that has wiped out all life from the land, so much so that bodies can decay because nothing can survive there. And yet, there are still people living on those lands, trying to carve a life for themselves. The larger world of Thedas keeps facing world ending event upon world ending event, and still, they never stop living. They do not pause their lives and give up. They rise, they rebuild, they come together, they try again, they live again. And knowing that sure, life might be almost always ending, but yet the world of Thedas continues. That they never give up hope of surviving the next disaster that comes their way. It's something that I try to bring into my own life and my own experience, and something I will always be grateful to Dragon Age for. Yet still, Dragon Age for me is about the relationships we get to form. It is a reminder that whether you are the hero of Ferelden, the champion of Kirkwall, the herald of Adraste, or Rook of the Veilguard, you don't have to take on that responsibility alone. Dragon Age reminds me that life is about being surrounded by those who are willing to help, who are there to offer you support. Some of them might start out as enemies, some of them might be people you disagree with fundamentally, but ultimately, they are all people who we need to survive the world together. And that for me is a great reminder, because sometimes I'm someone who works with the misplaced belief that I need to handle everything myself. That there's not enough room for me to share the burden of living, the burden of trying to survive this world with others who are also on this ride with me, and also in search of those with whom they can survive the world as well. The Dragon Age companions are a reminder to me that we don't always have to get along, that there might be those with whom we fight tooth and nail, those with whom we disagree and rarely get along with. But at the end of the day, we can put aside those disagreements to ensure our collective survival. Dragon Age for me is about stepping up. It's about realizing that heroes can be found in the unlikeliest of places, and nobody ever really sets out expecting to be a hero, the one on which the fate of the whole world rests. And yet, when that happens, there's a point that you cross when you accept the responsibility that things need to be done. Lives are at stake, and you might not have set out expecting to be the one to save people. You might not have thought that you are worthy or deserving of that responsibility or honor. And yet, here you are, with no choice but to do it. Because a hero can be anyone. It can be anyone and any situation, whether it's to save the world from darkspawn, or to help a friend confront her abusive mother, or to help another friend kill the magister who used to own him, or help another face his homophobic father, or yet another kill his backstabbing piece of shit cousin. Whatever the case, Dragon Age taught me that anyone has the capacity to be a hero of our lives, of our own stories, and that for me is beautiful. And finally, Dragon Age to me is an escape. It is an escape into a world that can be dark and heartbreaking. A world that feels like we can't even win sometimes. That things keep breaking because people will continue to be people and put their own interests first over others. And yet, it is home, it is comfort, it is hope. Thedas owns my heart. I can spend hours upon hours exploring and learning the crevices of the world. Dragon Age, to me, is home. And it is a home I will always come back to. And yes, Inquisition will always be my absolutely favorite game in the franchise. But Dragon Age as a whole will always own me, mind, body, and soul. So this Dragon Age, I will want to reiterate what we've always said as a fandom. A huge thank you to the writers, the artists, the illustrators, the developers, the music composers, everybody, past and present, who have all contributed in whatsoever way in gifting us Thedas and the stories contained within it. Thank you. But yes, this is what Dragon Age means to me. What does it mean to you? Let me know in the comments. And until my next video, may you be kept and held in the arms of those who know you best and love you regardless. Bye.